Okay, so this is part two actually of a two-part series of why Ukrainian women struggle or what they struggle with when they move to the United States, because I don't think people quite fully grasp some of these nuances, the complexities of them.
Yeah, so I will remind that nowadays I do a lot of educational programs for the ladies, like I educate ladies, create the content for them in Russian that I've been like really not doing for many years, and I've been trying to push it away, but nowadays it's super important. And I create a little survey within the ladies that our clients, married to our clients, already in the United States, what are their challenges, what they like, what they don't like, what they can accept, what they not accept in US. And the reason that we're doing this video is for you guys to understand their mentality better and help them to adjust in your country, not get frustrated if something is going on wrong, and in the future help them to not become westernized. This is our end goal, to create a course to add to Ascent, to help you guys not have a westernized woman, because I know that it is one of the fears that our clients have when they bring the lady overseas. So in the first part we discussed with you cultural difference that they mentioned, like some social norms, fashion, how it's changing them when they move to the West, and financial, right? That, you know, they don't understand about the mortgage sometimes, you need to explain that to them, credit cards and etc. And in this part we want to speak about housing, like how different is the lifestyle there, food and shopping, customer service and transportation. And the first one, I think that we will start with food, shopping and customer service, because it's something that really in a one way impressively surprise ladies, and in another way really disappoint them and make them sad. But before we start, I want to invite you to our Telegram community. Please join. There we have other surveys that we collect from you guys, topics that you would like me to educate our ladies to make the best wifeys for you. And subscribe to our channel to not miss the content. So, food, shopping and customer service. What our ladies, Striker, tell a little bit about Ukrainian farmer markets, where we was in Ukraine. We have one video a long time ago, very funny, like how we was buying for 100 hryvnias or...
I can't remember. No,
$15, $15.
Yeah, well, could I buy a week's worth of groceries with $15?
We have a village milk straight from the cows. Striker was very skeptical, but it's actually very good. So it was...
I heard you have to like boil it first, but I'm pretty certain if you boil milk, it turns into mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And you could. And there was chicken and there was...
Even three types of meat.
Three types of meat, and there was vegetables and rice and some other things. So it was so cheap to go to the farmer's market. Now, in the United States and in New Zealand and probably most other Western countries, the farmer's market is really, really expensive. Probably like 3 or 4 times the price for organic apples or organic chicken, eggs or meat or whatever. It's really expensive. In Ukraine, to go to the market, it's about, would you say it's half the price as the supermarket?
No, not half, but like it's cheaper.
Maybe about a quarter to a third cheaper.
Yeah.
A quarter to a third cheaper. Now the apples are not as round.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're like a little bit lumpy, and the meat, the way they cut it up is like with an axe, and you'll find bits of bone in it.
That's true.
But it's from the farm, actually from the farm. But that's seen as like the poor people's food, right? As opposed from getting it from the supermarket.
Yeah, but people like the quality because, like, you know that, you know, even if the apple has a little bit of something, then it means it's natural, doesn't have so many chemicals. And Ukrainian ladies, you know, like the guys attracted to that they're very fit, that they're very slim, that they have good skin. But that is because, like, they also pay a big attention to what they eat, and they like to eat healthy. And so that is a bit of a challenge for them to find this farmers market in the United States, as the biggest challenge that they have is that in US there's a huge amount of frozen food, like put in the microwave ready in 5 minutes, like, and we like to cook, you know, ladies like to make the soup and everything. The guys don't mind, but there's a little bit of a tension happening because guy not used to spend so much money on food. So he used to buy this like for $5, you know, this meal, and that's it. When the lady wants to like cook something, and it takes much more money. But in a big picture, you understand that it's so much healthier, so much better. And the guys, like, I think that they adjust to that. And most of our ladies, they start growing some. I know that Elena, for example, she's growing like some zucchini, some cucumbers, tomatoes, and they are having all that because it's easier for them to plant it rather than like even to find and buy. So that is what they struggle. Also, they struggle that there's a lot of like very high sugar in food. There's a lot of everywhere sugar. And when they start reading the
The nutritional information.
Yeah, like it really upset them. And one of the ladies, interesting, she messaged, and then Stryker kind of like confirmed it from his side. I didn't know. She said, it feels for me, like I can open, she said that it feels for me that the healthy system, the food system is doing everything to support medical system and a medical system to support insurance system. I didn't get it from the beginning, but then you explained it to me.
Well, I never thought about it that way, but yeah, I think that the food industry is not regulated, and I don't think it needs to be, because the medical industry makes so much money off it, and the medical industry is paid for by the insurance companies, and the insurance companies paid for by the people and the taxes. And so I think it's just a loop of, I don't know, of everybody getting screwed over, I suppose, at some point. So that doesn't really happen in Ukraine. There's not really that, I don't believe that there is that sense of this industry around eating bad food, is there? I mean, now there's like McDonald's and a few things like that, but McDonald's isn't really that bad compared to some of the other stuff you get in the supermarkets. I don't think McDonald's is actually that bad when it comes to some of the chemicals and the corporations that own a lot of these, well, pretty much all of these companies that make us sick. So anyway, that's a video for another day.
Talking about McDonald's, they mentioned that their men telling that McDonald's in Ukraine is cleaner, much cleaner and tastier than in the United States. So I don't like McDonald's, so I can't really compare. I know that in Spain I went and it's like really not tasty at all, and I will confirm that in Ukraine is better. But in general, like I would not be a judge, and you as well, I think we're not.
Well, I mean, the McDonald's in Ukraine was
clean for
it was
sure.
the same as New Zealand. Like even the same style, everything looks the same. Like everything is like new. But I have been to the United States, and I don't think I went to McDonald's, but I went to some other places like a White Castle, and those places were kind of gross.
Yeah,
there was like lots of
dirty.
like food and chips and stuff all over the floor. And so, yeah, McDonald's seems to have a pretty high standard in some countries. Maybe it's different around the world, I don't know.
So also what the ladies, one of the ladies mentioned, she said that the alcohol cocktails are much more alcohol than in Ukraine. So, and it was funny because in Ukraine, like when you buy something, of course, alcohol costs much more than not alcohol. And even here in Spain, they put you just a little bit of alcohol because like they sell, for example, one drink for 10, 12 euros, but the alcohol is actually like they're measuring that. When she said like all the cocktails, they just put this alcohol inside, and like she said, it's super strong. It's not a challenge, I think, it's just a difference.
I think it's because in America they have a strange idea about what a shot of alcohol is. So it's this, in New Zealand, I think it's 30 mils, right? And in America, it's double. So their double is
60.
Yeah, no, their double is like 120 mils, which is like this much. And when I was in actually Las Vegas at the time, I ordered a double shot of whiskey or something like that, and it was like a glass. For me, it was like a glass. So it's double. So maybe when you say so maybe they still use one shot for a cocktail, but it's double than what it is in Ukraine.
Bigger. Yeah, so it's strong. She also mentioned, actually 3 ladies mentioned about the cold drinks and lack of hot drinks. So Ukrainian ladies like to drink tea. And if you're married to a Ukrainian lady, you know that you have probably a collection of a tea. But they said that in the restaurant, they always, like when they ask for tea, they bring them, of course, iced tea. And there's always a lot of ice, and it's always very cold everywhere. So the ladies really struggling with that, and it's a challenge for them. And we always recommend to our clients, like to have in a trunk, for example, like a little, like a jacket or something. Because when you go to the grocery, they like it's super cold. And I know that firsthand that here in Spain, there's a regulation to have not less than 24 degrees, when on the west, like it's really cold. It's really cold and uncomfortable. And these ice drinks, the guys sometimes making fun of the ladies, but you just need to know that we do not have that culture. We're not used to that. We're not used to spicy food. That is also another challenge that the ladies going through, because like, like Tex-Mex or, Texas Roadhouse or anything, everywhere, everything is super spicy. But what? Super spicy for me? Absolutely not spicy for you, right? And like we're just not used to that. Ukrainian food is very
bland.
Okay. And so that is why it's also something different, that you don't need to make fun of her. And you may think, who is making fun? But sometimes guys like start to like tease, you know, or something. But she's just like, she gets frustrated, you get frustrated. And if you watch another video, like
You get frustrated, she gets frustrated, and then she becomes westernized.
Westernized, yeah, like it's a fast track, you know. Then what else they are getting used to? They mentioned that they're not used to weekly shopping. So interesting. In Ukraine, here in Spain, everything is like walkable distance, right? Not everything, but I mean around the city. So even in a countryside, there would be a grocery that you can walk to. So in Ukraine, people usually go to the grocery every day in the evening. They got their, oh, maybe I need a milk, maybe I need sugar, maybe I need this. And to get used to buying once a week, it's a little bit of a difference. But one of the ladies, she mentioned, you know, I like it more than going to the shop every day. First of all, we can better watch our budget. Second of all, she said we have a storage, because in Ukraine, like everything is so small, people don't have enough room. But if you live in a house, you have a cool storage. She said we always have plenty of food. We go once a week, we have a list. So she liked it. But it took some time to understand that, okay, you need to you need to think for the week ahead. And that is a little bit of a difference for them. But in Ukraine and here, right, like if you need anything, just 2 seconds and you're at the grocery.
Yeah.
What else they were saying? They are about bulk. Everything is big.
They buy everything in bulk.
Yeah. So here, like you buy, for example, a liter of milk. When in US, you buy a gallon, or like everything is like big bags and cans and everything. So it's not bad, but it's just different. And at the beginning, she may get a little bit frustrated, because even the variety, like when you got to US shop, like it's shocking amount of cheese, amount of sausages, amount of meat, amount of this. Like, and if you don't know what to get, she can get a little bit like upset because she will feel like that she's stupid, I would say, that she's not aware of. What else? They are mentioning that the service is better in the United States. It's much faster, but we already discussed that it probably is because of the tip system.
I think it's culture too. I think that in Ukraine, there's no pressure on service workers or the lady working in the bank to be nice. I mean, I remember one time you were in the bank. Do you remember that lady was, I don't know if you remember it or not, but she was yelling at you, and you were telling her something. Do you remember this? And you came out afterwards, and she said, you said something to her like, is that the way that you're going to do this or something? And she said, what are you going to do about it? And it was a lady in the bank. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. It was something, it was like, I was like, what? This lady is saying, what are you going to do about it? Like, nobody cared about customer service. It's like, well, who cares? Like, well, get lost if you don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, get out of my workplace.
But, and according to that, ladies absolutely adore refund policy. You know, it's interesting because in Ukraine, like, and Striker can't like really, not that he can't understand, like I was calling him and say, Striker, I just got here something and that I didn't like it, and he said, you can refund. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to refund. And then he said, like, it's just so easy, you just print this like label and you just bring it back. When I tried it, I was surprised, because here in Spain and in the West, you can buy something, oh, I don't like it, I changed my mind, come back and give it. Wait a second. In Ukraine, you should bring your passport, you need to fulfill the declaration, you need to give a little bit of your liver, a little bit of your kidney, and a little bit of your tongue. It's shocking. You can't imagine how difficult it is to return anything in Ukraine. You literally don't want to do it. You literally think like, oh my God, like
I'll just lose my money.
I just lose my money, but I will not do it. Here it's easy. And also the girls like really admire like Amazon, like how they deliver, because in Ukraine it's a challenge to find this delivery. They call, even here in Spain it's a little bit challenging. They call you, you're not at home. They deliver only during the day. During the day you're working. So in US they just drop it in the door, nobody take it, and they really like it and appreciate. So there's like, I think, more positive stuff, except like for the food product. I think that you should help her to find a place where she can get milk, she can get eggs, and then she will feel more comfortable, more like at home. And then it will not be that difficult, because from other hand, you know, like this frozen food is super easy to make, right? Like frozen food, like it's everything. I tried it. It's not that bad. On the West, like, I don't know, of course, there's probably a lot of preservatives. A lot of conservatives eating it. But from other hand, it's so simple. So I don't think that you want to have a wife that will buy this cheap food, put in the microwave and give it for you for dinner, right? So basically become westernized. You want her to cook. You want her to make a delicious meal. So you need to think about that, how to facilitate that.
Yeah, it's like all of these little points, if you not all of them obviously, but ones like, it's easier to just get some microwave dinners or something like this. This is like the westernization of 1,000 paper cuts. It's just little bits at a time. It's not one thing. It's not like all of a sudden she wakes up and she's got short pink hair and a nose ring, right? It's like these little things that slowly chip away until it just changes who she is to fit into the environment that she's in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the only problem that we got here, like huge problem, and I don't think that it's really possible to fix. And I've experienced that here in Spain as well. And as I said, I compare my life in Spain now because I'm from Ukraine. I've been living a little bit on the west, but I live now in Spain. Spain is not Ukraine for sure. It's not 100% west, but much closer to the west. And some things, some challenges I also go through every day. And this is the medical system. So I don't think that I need to explain a lot. You guys know, unfortunately, that it's pretty difficult, especially like one of the ladies, she fulfilled my survey a week ago, and she said she's been at the doctor, she has a pain, they make a like x-ray for her tooth, and she has next appointment for the January 2025. And that is shocking. That is like the only thing that been fixable, like when our ladies, like when Ukraine was open to visit and more safe. I mean, it is open to travel, but it's not that safe. They was just like once a year they go to Ukraine, do the checkup, teeth, gynecology, everything, and that is how you was saving so much money, so much health without arguing. In this case, with the doctors, you just need to be a little bit more understandable, because in Ukraine, for example, if you feel bad and you think that you need to take antibiotic, you can go to the grocery or to the pharmacy and get it. When on the West, almost every medicine, every drug need to be prescribed.
Yeah.
And not even antibiotic, maybe I exaggerated a little bit, even though it was possible to buy. But like you, for example, have something and you know that you can go to the pharmacy, you can talk to the pharmacist, she will advise you and you can buy. On the West, you can't.
Yeah, this was a real eye-opener for me when I was in Ukraine, the way that the medical sort of system worked, and it was so incredibly cheap there, like compared to the West anyway, I'll say that.
Medicine.
Like medicine and going to the doctor and getting treatments and all that sort of stuff. And I remember the way that it worked is if you felt like something was wrong or you just wanted to get a checkup, you went to those blood clinics. Remember the blood clinics?
You can tell whatever you want to.
Yeah,
like,
I want to have whatever blood test or...
You want like men's checkup, women's checkup. You don't need to have
and they just tick the box.
You
like this, you get all the blood
prescription.
tests and they give you the test back and you just take this to any doctor you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the doctor. The doctor says you need this. Then you go wait.
I even forgot about this. Like here
it
it's
was
so
awesome.
different.
It was so good. It was like and it was all red, remember?
Yeah.
And it was really unsettling because even the uniforms were like bright red and the walls were all red. And I was like, someone really needs to like design this a little bit so it's a bit calmer. But there was that, and then there's of course, like the pharmacies, you could buy any prescription medication over the counter. Although I will say this, I remember my Russian teacher told me she'd lived in Odessa her whole life. She was an older lady, and she said that that the pharmacies were actually owned by the mafias. Have you heard this? They were about 80% owned by the mafia. No, at present time. And she was saying that 80% of these prescription medications that you're getting is all fake anyway. And so she was saying, when you see those crosses, the green cross, she said, be careful, you should go to the ones without the green cross. And then she dropped dead on the floor from the medicine she'd just been taking.
Okay.
Poor woman.
Poor woman. So yeah, basically that is the challenges and the differences, and that according to the food, shopping, customer service, medicine. Now let's talk a little bit about transportation and then go to housing. So about the transportation, basically what they challenge is long distances, and it's interesting because like something, I remember one of the guys, he came to Poland and the lady was leaving. I said, you need to rent something close to where she lives. And he said, yeah, I rented it like 45 minutes drive. For him, it was like, for us, it's like another city. So everything's like maximum 15 minutes away. And so long distance, it's something that they need to get used to. They may be a little bit frustrated, maybe a little bit upset, maybe a little bit like lost, but they will get used to that. They enjoy it. The roads are great, no traffic, and so it will be fine. But what they challenge also is that they are car dependent, because one of the ladies, she lives in California, in Los Angeles, and she said about the buses, and she said that the buses are only for poor people or for homeless. And I also experienced that in New York, like in the Brighton area, there is a bus, like a very strange experience, and also in Oregon. It seems like, yes, bus transportation is there, like public transportation is there, but it's really, really unsafe. And this lady who was using bus, she said that everybody was saying that she's super brave to go. When in Ukraine, even though Striker was making fun a little bit that marshrutka, it looks like so, like it's like so many people, like they're like
no, I've never been in one. I wanted to just to experience.
It's horrible. There's no
like.
aircon. Like here in Spain, the buses are big. They're aircon. They will never let a lot of people there, so it's always comfortable. When in Ukraine, it was like like fish in a can. But you was using it, you have no other option, because most of the people do not drive, and most of the people do not even have a license. And in a family, usually a man is driving, lady is not driving, and so bus and transportation is fine. When on the West, it's not fine. It's almost not exist. So for the ladies, it's challenge because they either need to get a license, or they depend on the man, or they need to overcome their fears. So that is something difficult, but you have to be there for her. That's all you can do. She will be, again, like I use the word frustrated like so many times, but she will be lost a little bit according to driving, because it's far, it's different, it's fast. I adore driving. I drive for many, many, many years. But when I come to US, I don't know why, but I mean, I'm like, these highways are so fast that even I have a little bit like, I mean, it's not comfortable for me. So, but if you're patient, if you say that, like, I will go with you, don't worry, on Saturday we drive together, I will help you, you not yell at her, you not scream, like you just patiently drive with her, even though she may do stupid mistakes and everything, but you there for her, it will build you stronger together. Agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let's talk about housing and living conditions. So in the last video we said about holidays, neighbors, how everything is like friendly, how they like to be in this environment, communities. It's not common to Ukraine, and so they really love it. But what they are really shocked with, first, something that I didn't know, and Striker will be better to explain that to me again and to you, is moving houses. One of the ladies said, like, I'm shocked, they're moving houses almost every 6 years. And for us Ukrainians, it's not. We born in one house, we live in one house, we leave this house for our children and grandchildren. And so then I asked Striker, I said, why are they moving? And the culture is different, right?
Yeah, like I never really thought of anything different, but you know, you buy your first house, or you're renting, or you buy your first house, and then maybe you make some more money, so you think I want to buy in a nicer area, and then maybe you get married and you think, well, we're going to have kids, we have to get another house. And so my friends back home, they probably would buy a new house or move house probably every 3 to 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Because in Ukraine, it's like, I think it's because of the mortgage. You know that you can always refinance, you can always go back. You can. Yeah. In Ukraine, no, you buy it, and then the price for this house may go down, may go up, like, and you will not be able to get the same. And what she said, like, how it is, like in Ukraine, we put the soul in the house, and we're not changing the house just because we have an extra child and we need an extra room. We try to fit everyone in this room. And to be honest, that is true. I think that this is that conservative and close-minded mentality, because I've been raised in one apartment when I was a kid. Then it was super small. It was tiny. We were very poor, and like it's a tiny, tiny apartment. Then we moved when I was like a teenager, and then I moved to my apartment later on. That like I never here in Spain we changed like more places that I changed my whole life. It's just not really. It's not really common for us. But I think that if you like with the time, like for example, for me now, I adjust to changes much easier than I used to. So that's why it's something that you need to not say like, you stupid, like you, whatever, you conserve. you would not say it to your woman like this. But I mean, you like.
Well, it depends. Depends on the situation.
But anyway, you will not like be angry with her. Just need to understand that this is something very different for her, especially like, you know, when it's a younger woman that, you know, she has her values and then all of a sudden you're changing that. Because even like if you live in a little house, she will be okay with this little house without thinking that you need to move soon. But what they also surprised, and not challenging, but they surprised by thin doors, glass doors, little fences or no fences, with the thin windows. And it's interesting about the thin windows. When we done apartment with Striker in Odessa, I remember we came there, we wanted to do a video for our YouTube, and Striker was staying near the window a couple of times. He said, like, it's a double glazed window, double glazed window. I said, Striker, it's actually 3 glazed, like it's 3 layers, because it's something in Ukraine like super common. And silly me, I didn't know that, I didn't pay attention, to be honest, at that, because when I was living in US, I was always living in some closed communities that is like white anyway, so you don't really hear noise. But here in Spain, oh my God, like these thin windows and like noise outside, it's so loud. And here it's like it's like one glaze window. When in Ukraine it's we used to more. And so the ladies are saying that like everything is so like thin that it's a little bit kind of feels a little bit unsafe at the beginning, because in Ukraine we have three lockers, we have the door with like a bulletproof door, we have like this locker, this password. On the West, like some doors still open, you know, some doors closed, and you need to get used to that. At the beginning, the ladies are running around, closing the door, closing everything, and we used to that. You know, we used to living very close, no curtains. She said, one of the ladies said, like, they don't use curtains. And, you know, she said, at the beginning, I was very upset because I like to walk home, like, not naked, but, you know, like, and I don't want anyone to see. And she said, now it's better, you know, no curtains, no need to wash them. And to be honest, like, isn't it a sign of a westernizing? You know, it's nice. Like, I remember it's a whole tradition. It's so difficult. And I hated it to take off the curtains. Every single, this little tick, 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 you need to take them off. Then you need to, like, because we always have white one and then we have a colored one. You need to wash white ones. Then you need to steam them. It's kind of like a female work, I would say. And now what she say? Yeah, I miss curtains. It was cozy with curtains, but now less work. It's also a sign of a westernizing, you know, this.
Yeah, I don't think westernization is like, this is what I said in the other video, or in another video, I can't remember, where it's said as a bad thing, but you have to pick out the part that's bad, right? Because a woman that's being westernized, she's come over and she's got used to a lot of this stuff, like curtains, doors, whatever. And that's fine, because this stuff is not going to affect your relationship at all. Things that will affect your relationship are the mentality that she may have towards a man, or the fact that she may lose some of that feminine energy or her looks when she comes to the West and she sees it, hey, they actually don't care about like if I do my nails and that sort of stuff there, and then she'll lose it as well. But that's not really her fault, because if the man was there going, okay, it's I've got your appointment booked to get your nails done next Tuesday, you better be there, right? And then she's obviously going to keep up those things because she likes those things. But now she's in a new environment where it's more accepted to have a very lower minimum standard. So I think that people will always go to the minimum standard, and wherever they are,
I think that femininity, not feminism, but femininity, it's a puzzle. It's a big puzzle of beauty, of self-care, of taking care of house, of your man, of a child. It's like everything. And so if you think, oh, nails is not that important, I will take it away. No, okay, maybe the pictures still look like, I mean, a missing piece, but it's okay. Then you think, oh, you know, this is not important, push it away. This is not important, push it away. You know, then that's it. So we believe that, you know, by this survey, we help ourselves and yourself understand the challenges and the frustration that Ukrainian ladies are going through when they move to the West. Some of them they really like some of the changes they do like, but Most of them. But it takes time for them to adjust to that. That is the highlight of this video, is that you need to be patient to understand that your culture is great. You know, something you may not like, both of you will discuss it, but in general, it's good. And you need to just give her a little bit of a time to adjust and not blame her for being not accepting or not understandable of some things on the West. But by pointing out, little bits and pieces that, we said like about the nails, about this, you understand that in one point of time the picture may break. And so we don't want that to happen. And you need to be the one who will encourage her to stay feminine. And we believe, that guy take equal part in that as a woman. It's not just woman. She should come, because when we come to a different environment, even like to get a new habit, they say you need 21 days and you will either lose a habit that you want to lose or you will get a new habit. So the same as like living in a Western environment without facilitating and maintaining, more feminine one, it can be a problem. So we...
Yeah, it's men. It's men that westernize the women when they come over. Men have a huge part in it. If men didn't accept certain kinds of behaviours, which they'd seemingly had rejected already from the West and went somewhere else, if they still rejected those in her and didn't bring them in and accept them because it's more comfortable and it's more accepted maybe among their own friends or family, then she's got no reason to get westernised. And to be honest, the guy should kind of keep her in check. That's what I believe. He should keep her in check. And if she does become westernised, and believe me, it's not going to happen, you're going to wake up one morning and it's like, oh, what happened? It's going to be slowly. And then she's going to become the woman that you didn't want her to be. So when you see people saying she's going to become westernised, it's like, well, a man who had strong frame and strong boundaries would not allow that to happen, and she would respect him for those.
And all of our ladies who moved, yes, I do see changes that sometimes they go fast to eat somewhere, because in Ukraine, if you go to the restaurant, it's like it's a huge event, you need to put the heels on, put the makeup. But on the West, it's like more fast. You go to fast food place, you go for the breakfast place, to the diner, and it's not such a big deal. So I think that you should take time, and at least like once a month, you should have a proper date when you go to the nice restaurant where you both date, where you both dress nice, and then you maintain. And it's like a car. You put in a car like oil, right? Like, and different stuff to how maintain, right? Maintain it. So the same with the relationship. We in a sense always say like never stop dating. And if you will maintain that, you're having your spa day, let's say, or you're doing this or that, like she will stay feminine for you.
Yeah, I just want to rephrase what I said before. When I said you would not allow that to happen. So because some people may think, well, how do you stop? Like, how could you allow or not allow? So the way to do it is you encourage her to be the way that you want her to be, okay? And you reward that good behavior. And you would tell her, I love it when you dress in such a way, and I like it when you have your nails done. She's grown up for 30 years perhaps, looking a certain way and being a particular way. She wants to continue that way because it's otherwise for her it's just something just completely strange. But she knows that it is attractive to you. She's attractive to you, and vice versa. So just make sure you stay on top of it. Problem is that as men we get complacent, especially in relationships. And if you understood all of this, and she understood all of this, most of the relationships that I think that go over to those countries that don't have any support, they would probably stay together. When they say, oh, she found someone better and she left, or she became westernized, it's like, nah, that's not what happened at all. You weren't the man that she was when you met, and you allowed her to change and to become a Western woman. That's what I believe. What do you guys think? Put in the comments below.
Put in the comments, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you later.